it rain, make it rain. Is the love of money the root of all evil? Or is it the lack of money that is the root of all evil? Hey guys, welcome to Tickzon Mentorship Scheme, where we try to turn our hindsight into your foresight. Welcome to the video, and if you haven't subscribed, you're missing out. If you were to ask yourself, how many athletes end up going bankrupt a couple of years after after they think they retire? I mean, stay to the end of the video to find out how many, what percentage that is. Wow, it's a bad number. Wow. So today we're going to be talking about the rules of money. Make it rain, make it rain, make it rain, make it rain. Oh, I'm joking. Oh. So firstly, we gotta ask ourselves the question: is the love of money the root of all evil, or is it the lack of money that is the root of all evil? If you were to ask me, I would say neither. Money is just a tool. It can be used to do good things, it can be used to do bad things. And money inherently has no value. It is a fiat currency, and our money intrinsically has no value. It has the value that we give it. So we say this is worth £20. So because we say it's worth £20, then it is worth £20. To illustrate how our money intrinsically has no value, a lot of countries have gotten rid of their coins because their coins were costing more than it was worth to actually have the coin. So for example, in the US now, their 1 cent is actually worth, it actually takes 1.5 cents to make a 1 cent coin. Literally, it takes, I think, 6.8 cents to make a 5 cent coin, so that's a dime and a penny. And similarly, in a lot of countries, that's the reason why they got rid of coins, because it was more expensive. Like, your 1p is not worth 1p. So although in a lot of countries now, similar in the UK, they've changed the material that was used to make their coins to make it less valuable than it actually is worth, if that makes sense. So, like I said, money is just a tool. It can be used for good, it can be used for evil. Most times money doesn't really change people. Sometimes it just it just reveals who people really were in the first place. Money gets bored, so give it a job. And a good way to do it is by budgeting 100%, or by allocating your money in a certain way. So why I say this is because most people who get rich, there's one thing when you going from paycheck to paycheck. One is we're all really using our time to make money, but then when you actually start using your money to make more money, then that's when you're on your road to actually being in some financial security, if that makes sense. So for example, your money gets bored. If your money's sitting in the savings account and it's a low interest, your money's becoming less and less valuable every day. That's just it, and that's called inflation. Inflation is the increase of the prices of goods and services, which intrinsically makes the value of our money less. So for example, £20 today, this £20 right now, what it could buy me today, it could only, let's say, buy me £18 worth of that in 2021. So your aim is for your money to be moving around to make you more money. The next rule of money we're going to talk about is the idea of money is scarce. Now, it's, money does not grow on trees, but there's always more money. So people feel like there's not enough money in the world. No, over $1 trillion worth of money changes hands every day. And even right now, as I said, our money doesn't really have any value. That's the reason why we print it when we want to. It's called quantitative easing. The Federal Reserve or the Central Bank of England will just, the Bank of England will just keep on printing more money and putting more in circulation. So the only issue with that is that the more money that's pumped, the less valuable your money is. Hence why it doesn't even have any value. Now another one, this is very, 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 very important. So listen up. Always be ready for opportunities and emergencies. So what does that mean? There's this idea that savers are losers, and to some extent, saving won't necessarily make you rich, but savers are those that are getting prepared. So obviously, if you start saving, you want to start saving and then be ready for investments, but you always need to be ready for opportunities and emergencies. So this is going to be a mad stat, but most millionaires are made in recessions. So you remember 2008, 2009, more millionaires were made in that period of time than in other periods of time. And the reason why is because they have been saving and stocking up money, getting ready for these opportunities when, you know, either to buy into a company, to buy real estate, to move, to do different things. So you always want to be ready for opportunities, but likewise you also want to be ready for emergencies. So that's the reason why it's important to be saving, to have an emergency fund, because like the way the economy is going, some people already lost their jobs because of Brexit, you know, companies moving. So if you lost your job and then you didn't have any emergency fund, which is about 3 to 6 months of your living expenses saved in a banking account, at least if you only have 1 month saved, that could help you out, because you go from, you know, living paycheck to paycheck to being homeless real quick. So you always want to be ready for emergencies and opportunities. At the end of this year, going to 2021, 2022, there could be a recession. Are you ready? Another rule of money we're going to talk about is pay yourself first. Now, this is a very important one. This is a concept coined from The Richest Man in Babylon. It's a book. I think the book is old, fam. But it's this concept of that. When you get paid, think about who you paid first. So you paid normally your rent, your bills, your, you know, anyone you're owing, etc. And then anything that's left goes to you. But then this is to rechange it, that the first person you actually should be paying is yourself. So that is about 10% of your income goes straight to a savings account, and that's for you. And why they say that it's paying yourself first is because when you go and pay your bills, or you go to the grocery, or you go do Black Friday, you're paying ASOS, you're paying McDonald's, you're paying British Gas, but you haven't paid yourself yet, and then you end up having what's left. So this is a really good way to start saving your money, to actually have money for opportunities and also for emergencies. So paying yourself first is a very, very important way to do it. It's almost like tithing for yourself. Like I want that same dedication for yourself to make sure that, you know, you can end up building it. And this is irregardless of how much you're making. Like you can be making £5 an hour, say 50p. And now obviously in terms of paying yourself first, you can allocate the percentage as you like. Obviously go and see our video about budgeting to see how we kind of recommend using the 50-30-20 rule. There's other rules out there that you can use. Money won't make you happy. Money won't make you happy unless your happiness is tied to money. So for example, there's loads of millionaires and rich people committing suicide. I mean, you can't be like, oh my days, yeah, they had 1 million, they had 5 million. Why is it that there's some things money can't buy? So even if you have all the houses and everything, it doesn't repair the relationship with your friends, your family, doesn't give you that emotional security, doesn't give you that mental security. But it will solve problems that are tied to money. For example, if you're struggling, if you're broke, if you're poor, if you're struggling middle class, getting some money to make sure they have a roof over your head will make you happy. So money solves money problems, but it doesn't solve emotional problems, it doesn't solve mental problems. It only solves problems that are tied to money. If your relationship's being strained because of money, then it will solve that problem. Next one we're going to talk about is the power of leverage. Now, there is a difference between good debt and bad debt. Similar to the fact that there's a difference between an asset and a liability. Now, an asset makes you money. A liability costs you money. Bad debt costs you money. Good debt is making you money or has some intrinsic value in terms of that. So for example, interest rates get cut. You know, all these like investors, they go and borrow money to go and buy investments that will make them money to pay back the money that they paid. So what you need to understand is a lot of rich people. So to wind this back, so like we said in the beginning, consider how many people, how many athletes actually go bankrupt. Consider how many musicians go bankrupt once they start working. Consider how many lottery winners end up going back. It's because a lot of rich people are financially free, but they're not debt free. So when you look into the stock market, when you look at all these companies, they are, you know, Amazon, Facebook, all of these guys, you hear them, they raise capital, they raise money, they have money, but they'll always use somebody else's money to go make their money. So even if you go into the stock market, you see that their debt to asset ratio and how much money they've actually borrowed. For example, if you take a loan or you have investors give you money to go and buy an investment property to now go and rent that out to a buy to let, that is an asset, and in that intrinsically that's good debt because it's paying you back. But if you go and get a credit card and then you're just paying and unnecessarily using it, that's bad debt. You're racking up, you max it out 2k, now you're paying 40% interest on something that's not making you anything back. Obviously there's a way to change that bad debt into good debt, but it all comes down to the way you use it. So your relationship with money will either mean that you will sink or you'll swim. What do I mean by this? For example, if you have a negative relationship to money, in terms of that, money is the be or end all, this kind of like, this is where my happiness lies, every time that you're sad, you spend money, money gives you comfort, and then that's your coping mechanism for that, which is fair enough in how you do it, but understand that that is going to make money leave you more than it will attract money to you. People won't keep more than they can handle. So similar to like the lottery winners, you went from handling 2k a month to now handling 1 million a month. Most times those kind of people, if they're not smart about how they use their money, will end up spending until they get back to the state of mind, the state of place where they're actually used to handling it. So that's the reason why you want to build up a good habit with money about how you handle it. Because if you can handle £10 very well, then it means that you can handle £1,000 very well, provided that you stay disciplined. Beware lifestyle inflation. So what is lifestyle inflation? This is basically when you start earning a bit more money, then your standard of living starts going up a little bit more, and which is the reason why people can be earning 500k to 100k and still feel broke, because in proportion to how they made more money, they increased their expenses. So for example, a lot of you can see it with your life now. When you were a bit younger, when you were kind of broke, you were happy to jump on TFL, you were happy to take the bus, you were happy to walk. Now suddenly you're earning a lot more money. Now you're going on Uber, just anyhow, you're going on Bolt, Captain, all of these kind of things. I'm not sponsored, but you're jumping on all of these as frequently as possible, because now that you've got a bit more money, you're spending it a bit more, and that bracket which you could have been saving, investing, putting onto other things, it means that now you've also, as you've made more money, you've reduced how much you've been able to spend. So beware lifestyle inflation, especially if you're leaving university and you just go into your first grad role. You feel like, okay, I earned this money, I should spend this money. What's the point of the money if I'm not spending it? But that's how you end up not building wealth, and that's how you end up staying where you are, because now you've gotten the money, you're buying all the TVs, you're buying all the clothes, buying everything that can be bought basically. If at the end of the month, this is how you know whether your relationship with if you're handling your money well. If for you the times that you're broke the most is a couple of days before payday, then you're not handling your money very well. It's as simple as that. And for a lot of us, I'm not gonna lie, I've been there. For a lot of us, the time we're most broke is just before payday. And if that's you, then you need to pattern yourself, basically, because we all want us to all succeed out here. We all succeed when we succeed together, and that's what we're trying to do here at Tickzon Mentorship Scheme. Ultimately, guys, when it comes to money, so to recap, is money the root of all evil, or is the lack of money the root of all evil? Money is ultimately just a tool, and you'll just reveal to you what everybody, money is just a tool. Money is intrinsically worthless, and there's always more money out there. Over $1 trillion changes hands every day, and if you want to go get some, you can go get some. Money won't make you happy, but unless your happiness is tied to money. So money solves money problems, not emotional, mental, relationship, all of that thing. Yes, if you make more money, you'll find more people attracted to you because of your wealth, but how much is that real? Money gets bored, so give it a job, give it a purpose, budget. Or your money is almost like little armies going out to the world to come and work for you. So what you want is your money making money for you, as well as some of the money being ready for you in case of incaseties. Always be ready for opportunities and emergencies. Because of inflation, your money becomes less valuable every day. So that's why you want to look into high interest savings accounts for your emergency funds and your savings and your sinking funds, and you want to be looking into investments to make yourself more money. So they say savers are losers in some aspects, a little bit, yes, but to some aspect, if you're not a saver at all, then you are the loser. People won't keep more than they can handle. It's just as simple as that. And the power of leverage. There's difference between good debt and there's difference between bad debt. And last but not least, your relationship with money can be the reason why you sink or swim. So thank you for watching the video. I hope it's helped you in some kind of way. These are the rules of money. Subscribe, like. If you have any suggestions, hit it in the comments. Thank you. Hey guys, thank you for making it to the end of the video. I just came back from a youth club and I thought let me add this bonus footage into it. Youth clubs where we do our Tickzon Mentorship Scheme workshop days and Hindsight days. But since you made it to here, firstly subscribe. But the bonus, since you made it to the end, here's a couple of bonuses. Now understand, we don't plan to fail, we just fail to plan. So hopefully what has already been put into this video adds value to your life. Now if you're trying to be rich or you're trying to make a lot of money, then the easiest way to get there is solve a problem or create a market for a skill that you have to solve a problem. For example, people didn't know that they needed DVDs on their screens without delivery. That's the reason why Blockbusters went out of business, because they thought people always need it. But Netflix created that demand for themselves. Amazon's created that demand for themselves. Likewise in your field, if you're trying to do any profession, you're solving a problem. If you're a doctor, you're trying to, and make people more well, so you learn medicine, etc. Understand the power of credit and understand your credit score, because everyone has one. You have one. That can really have a detriment to your financial health, or it could be the biggest booster for you to be able to navigate through this world. Now the final bonus I wanted to give you guys is that in this life, if you want to be a doctor, you want to go learn medicine. If you wanted to be an engineer, you go learn engineering, and the physics, you go learn maths. And if you want to have money in this life, then you want to go and understand how money works, learn how it works in all of its different facets. So educate yourself financially. Just literally subscribe. We'll be helping you out. But also go read books. Google should be your friend. Go and learn. The more you learn, the more you earn, and then the more you can grow yourself. And finally, I know I said the last one was the last, but finally, most of your personal goals are financial goals. If you want a girlfriend, how are you going to pay for the date? If you want to go move out, how are you going to pay for the house? You want to go to anywhere, how are you going to pay for that? How are you going to fund that? All of these things that we want in our life are also financial goals. So educate yourself financially. So this has been the rules of money. Please subscribe. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Leave it a like, comment below if you have anything to ask or you're looking to answer something. Thank you guys, and I hope you have a blessed day. And come join Tickzon Mentorship Scheme, because we're trying to, turn our hindsight into people's foresight, because the more we learn, the more they can learn, etc. All of that. See ya. Bye. Oh yeah, to answer the question at the beginning of the video. 60% of NBA players go broke within the first 5 years. I think 78% of NFL players, majority of athletes across the board, whether it's footballers, etc., have their finances go bad within the next 3 years or 4 years after they finish they retire from their sport. And that really comes down to, yes, they're working on their sports, but they haven't been learning anything financial or how to handle their money financially. So when their assets, or in this term their income, is not covering the debts, they go from financially free and not debt free to just completely financially not free and to debt bad. So understand the rules of money and just continue learning, guys, so that we don't end up in that situation. You might think you win $1 million tomorrow and then that you're going to be set, but if you don't change your mindset, then your attitude determines your altitude. Love, guys.